Hey everyone, I've got 5 quick tips that are going to help you when you animate in Procreate Dreams. Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here, and it's been several weeks now that Procreate Dreams came out November 22nd, and people have been loving it. But I also know that there's a little bit of a learning curve. There's some complexity in there on how to do things, and so I thought it might be interesting to give you guys 5 quick tips on things that I find useful in working with the software. So why don't we go ahead and dive in. Okay, so in this first tip, I want to show you something very simple. A lot of you probably already know this, but I'm going to show you anyway. We're going to create a new file, and I'm going to go with the 4K widescreen. I'm going to click on Draw, and here it's got me set up and ready to draw. Now, some of you may have been stuck with your timeline like this, and you're drawing in this little field. So the first tip I want to show you is if you grab in drawing mode right here, here's your drawing mode, that little squiggly line. So when you click on it, you go into drawing mode, and you grab the middle with your pencil and pull down. This will put you into Flipbook mode and you can draw. This is a super handy way of working because it gives you such a big field to work in. And when you're done, you can just quickly put that down like so, quick swipe on the Flipbook, and it brings you back. You can also, when you're done here, you can click done up here and it brings you back. So there's 2 different ways to come back. But remember, go into drawing mode, grab the tab, and you're right there into drawing mode right there. Now, once you're in drawing mode, I'm going to give you a little bonus tip here. You don't have to go back to your timeline each time you want to add a new frame. All you have to do is click on your image right here, click on the plus, and you're right there and you're ready to do another drawing. Now, you want to see the drawing before? Click on the time code down here on the bottom and go show onion skin. Now I'm looking at the onion skin. I can edit the onion skin, can pull back on the opacity. I can change the colors to anything I want, so that works really well. So then I can keep moving forward, just like so. So that's a quick tip right there. And once again, let's pull back really quick, a quick scroll down here like that, and we're back onto the timeline. Okay, so let's go on to the next tip. How to do a fade in. And that means coming up from black. And so what we want to do is, I've got this positioned at the very beginning of my little short that I've created. I'm going to play that. So it's just going to loop on the part of the timeline that's showing. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the beginning of the timeline right there. And I'm going to create a new layer. So click on content track. And so now we've got something right there. Now I'm going to go into drawing mode, just like so. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the tab down. And I want to have a black frame. So what I can do is I can grab my color in the upper right and just drag it over and drop it. Now I have a black frame. Now you can see the background going off, but that's actually outside the frame. Everything that's black is a black frame. So I'm going to go ahead and hit done, and we're going to go back to the timeline, and I'm going to use my 3 fingers and open this up a little bit, and I'm going to grab the edge of this frame and just pull it down. Now I want this to be, let's make it a 1 second fade in. So I'm going to drag that frame out for 1 second. There we go. And you can see the 1 second mark right there. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to tap on the clapper, and I'm going to go to filter, and I'm going to click on opacity, and we're going to keep that at 100%. Okay? So now we're going to push this together using my 3 fingers. I'm going to push together. There we are. So there's our 1 second mark, and I'm going to pull this down here, and then I'm going to click on it again, and I'm going to pull the opacity down to 0. Okay? So now when I move through here, we've got a fade in. Now watch. I hit play. I'm going to go ahead and shrink the timeline a little bit. And now we've got a fade up. Very simple. You want your fade up to be a little longer now? Well, let's take the right edge. Let's pull it to 2 seconds. And we grab our opacity right there, move it down the timeline, Let's shrink this a little bit so we can get a nice sense of where it's playing. And let it play again. Now we've got a 2-second fade in. So that's a fade in. It works really well. Let's say we want to make it half a second. We bring it down here. I tap on it again, go to filter, opacity, and I'm going to bring that opacity down to 0 right there and hit play. There we go. So now we've got a half-second fade in. And so keep in mind that all you have to do to adjust the timing on your fade up is make sure you're starting at 100% black in the beginning, and then you can grab the edge of that frame and you can extend it for as long as you want, and then you can take that opacity marker and move it right to the end, just like that. And now you've got a fade up. Hey, if you're enjoying these tips, then you might want to see more. Go on over to creatureartteacher.com, where you can pick up my course on how to use Procreate Dreams for $1. That's a 3.5-hour course for $1 on how to use Procreate Dreams. Let's go back to the tips. Okay, so in this next tip, you might find that you want to extend the time that a drawing is holding on the timeline, but you've already got a whole bunch of drawings on there. And when you go to try to extend the drawing, let's say it's this drawing, if I grab hold of the edge, I can't extend it because I've got all these other drawings right here. Well, this is how you do it. You grab hold of the edge, but then touch with your other finger, and now I can move all over the place. I can move it to wherever I want it until I decide to let go. So I grab hold, touch, and move. Now I can extend that drawing for as long as I want. And if you want to put it back, grab hold, and you move it back. So it basically cements everything, but it moves it back and forth on the timeline, okay? So as long as you're grabbing hold of the edge, touching the timeline, you can move it around just like so. All right, so I want to show you a fun little trick to do in performance mode. I've gone ahead and I've animated a penguin walking in place. I did one walk cycle, then I repeated it and grouped everything together. So I really just animated one cycle, repeated those drawings across the timeline, and I've got him walking in place. Now I want him to walk across the screen. So how are we going to do that? I'm going to go ahead and hit stop right here. We're going to collapse the timeline just like that. So I've got about a 10-second clip right here. So what I want to do is I want to go to the beginning, just like so. And you can see that I've got the holding box. I'm going to shrink him down a little bit. And I want to put him on the outside. Right about there. So you can see I want him to walk onto screen. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this button right here. This is going to be our performance mode. Now it is ready to go. It's all I have to do is touch my screen and it's going to start recording. And I'm going to move my penguin all the way across the screen till we get to the end. So there we go. Now when I play this back, he's walking across the screen. Now you can see in the beginning, it was a little bit clunky. So I'm going to go ahead and stop, take 2 fingers, tap, and I can reset it. So I'm going to come back to the beginning here, just like so. We're going to come back to the beginning, and I'm going to do it again. And if we move back to the beginning, and so this is a fun way of just getting a character to animate across the screen without actually having to animate him across the screen. You just animate that cycle, repeat it, and then you can put it into performance mode and move it right across. Okay, so now in this final tip, I just want to show you how you can export your shot. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the title of the shot right here. And you'll see some properties over here on the left, or some tabs. I'm going to click on share, which we've already done. And right here, it gives me different options to export. I can export as a video, frames as images, current frame, or a Procreate Dreams file. Well, I'm going to go ahead and click on video. That's what I want to do. And you can see it's exporting right now. And then I'm just going to I'm going to go to save video. and it's automatically just saved it right into my photos. So I'll just come out here, click on photos, and boom, there is my shot, just like that. And it's as easy as that. And then from there, you can export that video anywhere you want. So I hope these little tips helped you. There's a lot more. If you want to go to my website, creatureartteacher.com, I've got an entire course on how to animate and Procreate dreams for $1. Yeah, just one single dollar. Go on over to creatureartteacher.com and check out my course on Procreate dreams for $1. Once again, I hope these little tips help you out, and go on out there, have some fun animating, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks.